Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my Line of God's Daily Diary series. As usual, before I discuss what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to go ahead and read you a chapter from the Bible. Today I will be continuing with the second book of Samuel, chapter 4. And when Saul's son heard that Abner was dead in Hebron, his hands were feeble, and all the Israelites were troubled. And Saul's son had 2 men that were captains of bands. The name of the one was Baanah, and the name of the other Rechab, the sons of Rimmon, a Beerothite, of the children of Benjamin, for Beeroth also was reckoned to Benjamin. And the Beerothites fled to Gittaim, and were sojourners there until this day. And Jonathan, Saul's son, had a son that was lame of his feet. He was 5 years old when the tidings came of Saul and Jonathan out of Jezreel, and his nurse took him up and fled. And it came to pass, as she made haste to flee, that he fell and became lame, and his name was Mephibosheth. And the sons of Rimmon the Beerothite, Rechab and Baanah, went and came about the heat of the day to the house of Ishbosheth, who lay on a bed at noon. And they came thither into the midst of the house, as though they would have fetched wheat, and they smote him under the 5th rib, and Rechab and Baanah his brother escaped. For when they came into the house, he lay on his bed in his bedchamber, and they smote him and slew him, and beheaded him, and took his head, and gat them away through the plain all the night. And they brought the head of Ishbosheth unto David to Hebron, and said to the king, Behold, the head of Ishbosheth the son of Saul thine enemy, which sought thy life, and the Lord hath avenged my lord the king this day of Saul, and of his seed. And David answered Rechab and Baanah his brother, the sons of Rimmon the Beerothite, and said unto them, As the Lord liveth, who hath redeemed my soul out of all adversity. And one told me, saying, Behold, Saul is dead, thinking to have brought good tidings. I took hold of him and slew him in Ziklag. Who thought that I would have given him a reward for his tidings? How much more, when wicked men have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed, shall I not therefore now require his blood of your hand, and take you away from the earth? And David commanded his young men, and they slew him, and cut off their hands and their feet, and hanged them up over the pool in Hebron. But they took the head of Ishbosheth, and buried it in the sepulchre of Abner in Hebron. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So this chapter discusses how Ishbosheth dies. So I don't want to offer any more analysis of this chapter. Instead, first I'll transition over to what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video. Since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I worked my software engineering job. I want to go ahead and discuss something, which is that I have been writing that I've been attending like 6 martial arts classes a week, and 3 jiu-jitsu, 3 Muay Thai. I haven't been able to attend 6 consistently for a bit now, maybe like 2-3 weeks at least, I think. And that's because I've had a lot of work. So I've had a lot of work, and so I've just been working a lot at my software engineering job, so I haven't been able to attend. So just wanted to mention I've been attending less classes. I'm going to try to, of course, attend as much as I can. It's just that if work comes up, work is a higher priority for me than martial arts, because, well, work pays the bills, and work gives me the money that I'll eventually need to provide for family. So those are the things I want to focus on, and I'll keep martial arts and self-defense there. I talk about this a lot away from this video, where I just talk about this idea, which is that my number one priority is always to serve God perfectly, and for example, read my Bible, because man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth from the mouth of God. And now, of course, that doesn't mean be lazy, because you have to multiply the talents. And so the next priority for myself is my software engineering job, and that's self-explanatory because I need to put a roof over my head, etc. And so to afford that, I work and save and invest for my long-term goals, which are having a family, etc. However I choose to do that, I'm not sure at this time. And the last goal I have is, well, that's self-defense, which is the ability to increase my ability to protect myself and eventually my family. And that's a very important goal, because that's life. So yeah, the good news that I want to share is that I'm recording this as of December 9th, and on December 3rd, I when I went to my jiu-jitsu class, um, I was promoted to be a blue belt, and I'm very grateful. Firstly, to Godfather Jehovah and Godson Jesus. I'm grateful to my jiu-jitsu professors. I'm grateful to my rolling partners and classmates. I'm grateful to, I'm grateful. Period, as it is a marker. I would say that I have grasped the foundations of jiu-jitsu, and I'm grateful for it because when I reflect on the 15 months from when I started jiu-jitsu, around about 15 months at this point, just so thankful because um, God has helped me to develop those skills, and I definitely look back and I see that progression, and I'm grateful for that. This next year, I've talked about that. I'm going to try to do the equivalent of what I did for jiu-jitsu this year for Muay Thai, so that I can be a more better rounded fighter from a self-defense perspective, because I think being well rounded will be better for me than being a specialist, because um, I just think that that's the essence of mixed martial arts. So I'm going to try to do that, and that's the plan. So yeah, once more, I wanted to say that I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that for everything, because it meant a lot to me, and I'm going to go slow and steady. I talked with somebody, and I want to mention another thing. On December 6th, I attended an event. It was basically like a day event at Gracie Technics Jiu Jitsu here in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is where I train Jiu Jitsu and Muay Thai. And there was an opportunity to learn that day from Professor Sauer. He's a coral belt who's well known in the Jiu Jitsu world at this time. And it was an awesome opportunity because the head of our gym, Professor Lazarus, he trained under Professor Sauer. And so it was very cool to meet Professor Lazarus' professor. And he trained us in some techniques. And then after that, we got to see a black belt ceremony. And there was a gentleman who was promoted there. There were many gentlemen who was promoted. And I talked with one of them, and he said that it had been 17, 18 years since he started training. I believe, yeah. And it's super impressive to me because I look at it like I trained a lot of jiu-jitsu this year. And like I said, I'm going to switch over to more Muay Thai this next year. And eventually I see myself training more balanced once I become more balanced, if that makes sense, right? Yeah. Because I don't want to train just one all the time. I want to be balanced. And of course, I want the actual skills to be balanced, not just specialized. And I look at that and I thought, hey, yeah, slow and steady is the best way to go. So I'm very excited about that idea, and that inspired me a lot, that it's okay that because I'm training Muay Thai, now my jiu-jitsu journey will be slower. But I'll always remember this first year, and I'll also look at those black belts in Slay. They also went slow and steady, and I can look up to them, and I'm inspired by them. So I just wanted to say how grateful I am to God, to my jiu-jitsu professors, my classmates, etc. And that's the idea there, is that I'm super grateful and thankful for that, because it was an awesome first 15 months of jiu-jitsu, and I'm looking forward to Muay Thai, and of course maintaining my jiu-jitsu, going every so often. So that's just something I wanted to mention, because that will be my plan going forwards. So yeah, I wanted to share that, as that was some stuff that was very impactful for me, and it meant a lot to me. So with that, I'll go ahead and end the daily dive video there for today. I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.